Hola, ¿cómo está? Um, let's see. Uh, we're gonna talk about vibe. What is vibe, and how can you regulate it if you can regulate it? And you can regulate it. You can regulate it pretty easily. A lot of people just happen to be, I mean, for lack of a better term, uneducated in it. But it's totally real. How do you regulate vibe? There are, we'll say 3 factors. We'll go you regulate the vibe. The food/environment regulates the vibe. And then I guess others/environment again regulates the vibe. It's really just 2 things: internal, you; external, other. Other is also food. Anything that's organic that has life is the other, because are you the food that you eat? You slowly become it, but you're obviously taking something exogenous and ingesting it. So you have 2 things. This creates the third thing: the new you, the thing that you're going to be, thing that you are becoming. The becoming part is what we're focusing on, because right now you're in a vibe. You're always constantly in a vibe. But you can become, or you can beget a new vibe, we'll say. How do you do this? Internally, it starts with how you recognize and codify whatever thought energy is. Now, we're thinking all the time, and we're using language all the time. This is a technology of codification. We're trying to encode symbols, images, anything that we could then recognize to help us elicit some kind of structure, both internally and externally. We have full control over this. It's a practice, but we have full control over it. Every pre-stimulus of thought is just raw. It's raw anti-data, we'll say. It's not data until it's been codified into data. The process of codifying this data is a process of is a product of your conditioning, the codes that you've learned, the symbols that you've learned, things like this. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't be able to communicate with the other people around you using the same codes, using the same technology. This wouldn't be conducive to, building stuff. So we start there, and we just kind of recognize, or we just kind of watch how things play out. And then practice taking... We then practice not saying something like I, and perhaps not making assumptions or predications inside of our mind automatically. And if you're an English speaker, it's very easy to do this because we have the word is. Is immediately predicates whatever it is you are talking about. I'll give you an example. This is red. The subject is red. Now, what shade of red is it? Is it actually red, or are you seeing it in a lighting that would give it the look of red? If you see it at a certain time of day, will it still be red? The mind recognizes finality, but the world outside of us is infinite, just as the world inside of us is infinite. But we crystallize it, because if we didn't, I guess we'd be amorphous. Children running and playing everywhere. Ah, the joy, the hatred, the power. So we start there. Don't predicate, don't identify. If you can, and you can. And you just start trying to do that. This will help your vibe tremendously. Because most of the time, when you over-identify and over-predicate, you're then working on assumptions. You're living your whole life thinking about how things are, when in fact, you don't fucking know. We don't fucking know. This immediately makes boundaries that you're probably not even aware of, that other information and data funnel through, or other anti-data funnel through, that then just gets pushed into the boxes that you've already set up. But that might not be your real vibe. That might not be the vibe that's going to be most harmonious for you, or the situation that you're in, the people that you're around, the environment that you're, all this stuff. Could be limiting, is what I'm trying to say. And if you're watching this and you're thinking, man, I really don't really feel a lot of harmony in my life, you're limiting yourself. And then the other, or the environment, the externality of all that is. You change this, or you work with this by means of diet, regulating the diet, learning what diet actually works for you, sleep patterns, wake patterns, movement, and then relationships. So there's 5 right there. And for an example, diet, super important. You probably heard a bunch of people talk about diet, and it's a real thing. Not every diet works for every person. And then when you find a diet that does work for you, it's probably going to work with you in a niche way, because everyone is specific and individualized. Same thing with relationships. You might like a person that your friend likes, but for a different reason. This is because energetically they resonate with you in a different way than they resonate with your friend. But there's still that mutual resonance. And then there's the fact that you could hate someone, but your friend loves that person. But you have some kind of mutual resonance with your friend, and it's sometimes confusing, because their energy resonates with something, it activates them, or maintains them where it could destroy or insult you. That's all. That's the whole life practice, learning that. And often it is much easier to work with the external factors of vibe than the internal ones, because we're just really impatient right now. But within the next hundreds of years, it'll swing back into more internal harmony, for sure. Just always does. So you work with those things. You learn those things, you practice those things. And you start, I guess, changing your lifestyle is a way to put it. Then, boom, harmony. Your vibe is in check. You're regulated. And you're being, I was about to say productive, but that word's kind of me. So, if you enjoyed this, or if you have questions, like how to, I guess, uncover deeper parts of yourself through separate esoteric frameworks, please hit me up, hit my line, leave a comment. Okay.